You must have heard of Winnie the Pooh, but have you heard of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? You might have, as this reimagination has taken over the internet since the news of its release and the trailer was made public. So, what is the movie all about? What should we expect from the horror reimagination? And more importantly, when will it be released? Stay tuned as we explore Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. News of its production. It seems like we're living in a time when a lot of childhood characters are being turned into horror movies. It started when some classic children's stories entered the public domain, and now it seems like every other movie is a twisted version of a character we loved growing up. For example, we've got a creepy version of Peter Pan coming out, and there's also a really disturbing take on Bambi. It's definitely a trend to keep an eye on. Now, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are getting a horror movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and the poster shows Pooh, who's definitely a far cry from the lovable, honey-loving bear we all know and love. As much as it is scary to watch favorite childhood characters get twisted up and darkened, it's still somewhat exciting to see how Pooh and Piglet's dark twists will unravel. So, what is the poster like? The poster for this horror movie reveals a lot about what to expect from the film. As depicted in the poster, the once cute and adorable characters of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are shown in a much more sinister and evil light, with Winnie wielding a sledgehammer and Piglet by his side. This is a departure from the sweet and innocent image we usually associate with these characters. The poster also features a silhouette of Winnie the Pooh holding a severed head, which effectively captures the dark and disturbing nature of the movie and grabs the viewer's attention. Upcoming movies online traction. Several childhood memories are about to be ruined by this movie. Hence, the attention it got online was pretty much expected, and it got a lot of online attention, enough to make alterations to a wrapped production. We'll be getting to that bit in a minute, but for now, let's examine the movie a little bit more. Apparently, people seem to be shocked by how the filmmakers have given the characters such a disturbing look. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey sounds like a really twisted take on the childhood story, and it really is. And just like you might have guessed, the movie is just the beginning of a trend of childhood classics being given a dark and twisted adaptation. In addition to this film, it seems like the writer is also working on Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare, a darker version of the classic character, and is also executively producing a disturbing reimagining of Bambi. It's definitely an interesting time for fans of these childhood stories. As a result, there has been a lot of buzz around the upcoming Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey movie. And when there is buzzing, excitement exists. And that's what gets translated to the box office when the film is released. It's definitely a unique and attention-grabbing concept, and it will be interesting to see how audiences receive it. Now, let's talk about its release. With Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey set to be released internationally as well as in the United States, the film is set to have a one-day theatrical release in the US on February 15th, 2023, and it will also be shown in theaters in the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Dutch Antilles. It will be no doubt fun to see how the film is received in these different countries. It's uncertain whether the film will have a wider release beyond the announced countries. As the release date approaches and the film generates more attention, it is possible that more theaters will decide to show it. However, it is difficult to predict the extent of the film's distribution at this time. One thing is certain is that the movie has garnered the attention for its unconventional depiction of the beloved A.A. Milne and E.H. Shepard characters, whose copyright expired in 2021 and are now available for public use. So, who can watch the movie? Well, the original story is a well-known and beloved children's book written by A.A. Milne in 1926 and has been widely praised as well as translated into 50 different languages. However, it's important to note that the upcoming film, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, is not intended for children and bears little resemblance to the original story. The cute characters we know are nowhere to be found in this dark and twisted version of the tale. It sounds like the film may even involve Christopher Robin playing a role in the disturbing events that unfold. It's definitely a far cry from the adorable and innocent story we're used to seeing. So, as much as it plays around with favorite children's characters, it's definitely not for kids. However, despite going down the dark trail, the movie was filmed in England's Ashdown Forest, which inspired A.A. Milne's 100-Acre Woods in the original Winnie the Pooh stories. Pretty thoughtful, if you ask me. Well, we know that the movie is set to be released in theaters on February 15th, 2023, but there is yet to be an official announcement about the film's debut on any streaming platform. What is the movie going to focus on then? The upcoming movie is expected to be a dark retelling of the beloved children's story. According to reports, the film follows Christopher Robin as he goes off to college, which causes Winnie the Pooh and Piglet to become feral and unhinged and go on a violent rampage. The once innocent characters are now depicted as violent killers who terrorize a group of university students who have taken refuge in a rural cabin. It seems that the characters' descent into ferality was triggered by Christopher Robin's abandonment of them and their lack of food. The situation becomes even more dire when Eeyore is killed and eaten. Getting to know the cast members. Judging from the official trailer for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which was released by Jagged Edge Productions on August 31st, 2022, it seems like the dark movie features a cast of lesser-known actors and newcomers to Hollywood. The trailer for the film, which was released in September, features plenty of violence, gore, and even a girl in a bikini in a jacuzzi. Craig David Dowsett plays the role of the terrifying Winnie the Pooh, while Chris Cordell plays Piglet. Nikolai Leon plays Christopher Robin, and Amber Doig Thorne and Maria Taylor play the secondary characters, Alice and Maria, respectively. The screenplay was written by Rice Frake Waterfield, who also served as the director for the film. Pretty excited to see what they've put together. What was the public reaction to the concept of this movie? Apparently, the writer and director of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Rice Frake Waterfield, was aware that a violent reimagining of the classic characters might be controversial, which is part of the reason he chose to give them a sadistic twist. However, he was still surprised by the level of attention and response the film received. The news of the film broke out of the usual horror circles and gained attention on mainstream news platforms and social media. As expected, people reacted with shock and disbelief to the concept of the film. I recognized that the idea came with a bit of a punch, and that there would probably be a lot of people who might want to watch it, but the response was 100 times what I thought it would be, the director of the movie noted. The strong reaction to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey seems to have led to a significant jump in interest in the film. This attention has also resulted in changes to the film's release plans and increased funding to improve the movie. It's definitely an unusual turn of events for a low-budget horror film. I mean, the film was shot in just 10 days in April and May before additional filming was planned. According to the film's director, Rice Frake Waterfield, the strong response to the horror movie has led to additional funding being made available to improve the film and add new scenes. The film was originally made on a small budget, but the extra funding has made it the most expensive film he has ever directed. Despite the increase in funding, the budget is still likely much smaller than that of a typical studio blockbuster. However, Rice still wants to deliver something memorable. Once it blew up to the extent it did, it was like, okay, let's try to make some further improvements, add some cooler bits in there and new scenes, he explained. How did the attention further change the movie's prospects? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was originally slated for release on digital platforms in October of 2022, but its growing popularity and numerous offers from distributors around the world prompted a delay in the release date. This includes plans to release the film in theaters in certain countries. As a low-budget film, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey has the potential to be a rare breakout hit, which is crucial for maintaining financial stability and continuing production in the industry, where small profit margins are the norm. This reimagined horror story may just be one of those unexpected hits. It's difficult to predict if the movie will meet or exceed expectations, or if it will disappoint fans by altering beloved childhood characters. However, we would love to hear your thoughts on the movie once it is released. Feel free to leave a comment with your opinion. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to stay updated on future content. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.